Hello, so this is rather unexpected. I put a picture of this ship unpainted up, a short film of it, a YouTube short, and it went absolutely mental, I think. I got about 900 views in it and it's still going up, so I decided I'll paint it. In fact, somebody left a comment asking if I was going to paint it, so I can't remember the name for the life of me, but that's why I'm doing this video now. So I painted it with a contrast paint and two standard Citadel paints. The contrast paint didn't go on as well as I hoped to, so I had to do two coats in some areas. And just while we're talking about the painting of it, just a brief note on my painting and why I paint. I paint to wargaming models. I wouldn't say I'm a particularly good painter, but I try and do a decent job, try and paint to a reasonable standard, but I do miss bits, go over lines, make mistakes, and I'm not too fussed about that. This is my first video showing me doing some painting, so it's not perfect. As you can see, my head keeps wandering into the shot. It's all learning experience. So I'm painting up this model for wargaming purposes. I'm going to use it to wargame naval battles in the late medieval come early Renaissance, so in the transitional period of warfare. Same as like on land. At sea there was a transitional warfare where warfare strayed away from being more boarding action and ramming based to artillery based. So hopefully that'll be an interesting war game. I'm self-writing that wargaming system because I want it to be relatively detailed, and I haven't found one that I like for doing it in this scale. I'm painting this ship up, which you'll see later on when I put the red and the blue on it in the coat of arms of the English nobility. So as you can see, that the paint isn't going on as thickly as I wanted to, so we're gonna have to go back and redo some of that. So this boat is what you would call a cog, or was quite often referred to as a cog. It is a successor of the longboat style, which was predominantly used for merchant ships, as its capacity, as it had a greater carrying capacity. And the crenellations in the front and back of it, called castella, they would be added on in times of war quite often onto merchant ships. At this point, although you had all the way from Henry V, onwards, they had actually put artillery on ships. The calibre, there was no standardisation of artillery yet, so made it more interesting period in that transitional stage as it went along. As you can see, I'm putting on the second coat here in some areas. So I have got all the infantry that you saw in it, that's to paint up. As well, I'm going to be building another one identical to this one, which is going to be I can't remember the name. I'll put it in the comments. Yeah, but there's going to be a mercenary ship, a Genoese, there we go, hey, Genoese ship to be fighting against it for an atypical naval battle in the English Channel. I would also like to quite get build some for the Ottoman Empire, Ottoman Turks, if I find the right ships to scale. So here we go, I'm putting in the red for the coat, for the panels to represent it as a English ship. Trying to be a little bit neat there. I decided to put the blue on, and with the red I went a little bit overlapping, but I'm not going to cry. As you can see, it's still quite pale, the brown on the sides, so I might need to put another coat on it, but for my purposes I'm happy with that. Again, in this period as well, naval warfare was very hit and miss, so quite often fleets wouldn't find each other, and most naval battles happened when either a fleet tried to attack a port or raid a port, and the ships inside the port sailed out to fight them. That was the atypical battle. Quite a lot of river battles happened as well. Famously, the Genoese sailed their galleys up to go defend Paris, and other such instances. So yeah, naval battles would predominantly work my These ships do become quite often unstable because you basically just cram as many people on them as you can. British do having the tendency to use longbows. Genoese having the tendency to use crossbows, and both sides increasingly using larger and larger amounts of firearms and cannons on their ships. And eventually, I think in this period as well, where we started to see purposely designed portholes in ships, such as later on, at the very end of this period, you've got the Mary Rose, such. Again, I keep wandering out of camera angle there because of it. So, I haven't shown me painting the mast in this because it's fairly obvious how that works. Just paint it, stick it. I'm not going to glue on the mast either, for wargaming purposes, to make it easier to get in there and to do it, actually nudge it and send it falling off. So just another quick point about the fighting, that it was still, boarding actions were still the most predominant and effective means. Although cannon was getting more and more effective, it was still boarding actions that tended to decide the day. Although the tendency to cram as many people on ships as possible did lead to horrific casualties being inflicted at close range, at basically a boarding range via artillery. So we're nearly there, nearly finished it. So yeah, like I say, I'm surprised how many likes this has got on the short videos, so that's why I want to paint this up. I might be doing more, I'll be doing another one. I might not show you the painting process of that one, so it'll be similar, but just the exact same, but just in burgundy colours. Still working the rule set, and as soon as I've got the rule set done, finalised, might do a battle report on that to see what people think of it. Anyway, so we're in the last minute of it now, so thank you for getting all the views in the videos. Short video, I'll do another short video of it painted. And I was absolutely blown away with getting 900. It would have went up by the time this video is posted. But yeah, I'm really blown away at that. That's probably not a lot for short videos, but personally, I think that's quite a lot. I'll be getting back to some of the Japanese stuff later on. I've got a basic tunic and trousers for a Japanese uniform, summer uniform, that I will be showing off later. But anyway, the blue, I kept coming out of the lines of the blue a bit and allow circular things that stick out from the crenellations. They were hard to do, hard to get around. But yeah. It's really interesting as well looking at naval wargaming on such a large scale, because obviously I'm doing a small scale, so it's a skirmish wargaming. The idea of it is you command one ship. So maybe you could get a team of like 4 or 8 of your friends and each have a single ship and have a little fleet battle and see how it pans out. Which I'm quite looking forward to. So at the end of the video I'll just do a couple of stills of the view of the finished ship. But thank you for watching, and this is me just about finished.